Hello YouTube, welcome back. It's Thursday today, the 29th of November. We've just loaded at the usual collection point, as I will call it, or keep on saying. We are max gross weight, so she's not going to be a happy bunny. Well, not complaining, just have to watch it. I was already had to get to one steep hill already and she's crawling. And yes, I did do the weight transfer thing, but not just then. It's a bit of a miserable day today, as you can see. Yeah. Really early start this morning, 10 past 4 we started, roughly. We weren't meant to get to the customer for about 6 o'clock, but got there about 6:40 due to some weather conditions and all that. It's not too bad, she's managing the hill today. Yeah, so I built my computer, put the first few videos up as well. I'm sorry about the last one uploaded, or one about what you call it, the driver shortage. For some reason I filmed that in a small frame, but I didn't realise that, and it's gone through the render, and every time I re-render it, it comes out as roughly about that size. So there's not much I can do on that one. So I do apologise. Aside from refilming it, that's the only other option, but I'm happy to leave it up on the channel for the moment. At first I thought I messed up on the video editor somewhere, but the only thing I can come down with, because it edited the video before just fine on the exact same settings, more or less. But as I said, it's all part of working out all the issues and all that. I have got you on a new position in the cab today. It probably won't be more like the position I've used to film myself from, but I thought it'd be interesting to film from that position out. I have got a new position which I haven't released any of those footage yet, I don't think I have, of the left hand window position, which seems to be okay. Not a perfect position by no means, but the advantage that position, you get to see a bit more of the cab, a little bit of rear driving, and a little bit of what's going on ahead. There is a little bit of a blind zone what's ahead in vision, because you're sort of looking out to the right, forward right in a way. So anything to the left you cannot see. Yeah, so plan is we're heading down towards Dorchester way. So the plan is I'm going to stop off at probably the usual services to grab a quick coffee. I was going to make myself a coffee at Yo Valley, but I'm really not in the mood today at the moment. I had to sort a few things out in the cab. I had to play around, as I said, with the mountings in the cab. I had a look at mounting it in the back of the cab. I have bought a few extra bits and bobs. The only thing I didn't bring with me was the strap mount, which could be feasible on the passenger seat. But I'm worried there's going to be a lot of you know, the camera being knocked around and all that. Yes, the camera I've got's got excellent stabilisation, but I think you'll still notice it's you know, waving around with the truck being knocked around the road and all that, or the normal bumps and shakes you get, shall I say. I think this position will be quite good because I can manipulate the camera around a wee bit and etc, etc. As it like I can face it sort of towards me, you know, as well, which is pretty cool. There you go, in the low gear, ready. Engage the exhaust brake agreements. But she definitely feels a lot better when she's loaded. I much prefer loaded in a way.
After 900 feet,
there's pros and cons about both.
B3140.
Big pro for being empty, you can just not fly around everywhere, but you know, you don't really get, you know, slowed down by hills and such like. But the negative of being empty is how this type of truck's designed on its wheels. When it's got the support axles up, it can feel a bit go-karty.
Follow B3140 West Harbury Road for 3.5 miles.
I've also got my new memory card in there as well, which actually the images I was a bit concerned about last shift, they've turned out to be okay. So it could have been just the reading speed on the on my MacBook. The night images okay, but you know, it's not the best time to film, but it is what it is. Gives you a rough taste of what it's like. I've still got quite a bit of videos to upload, just so I only had one day off. I built the computer on Tuesday when I got back from work. Which actually went reasonably well. I didn't mess up the installation a little bit on the upload. For some reason it restarted and it just didn't want to boot back into Windows. Just kept coming up with a fault and said go repair, so to do the whole repair sequence and start again almost. And I found out the issue was I ended up having to delete some folders that were in the operating system because of a bug. It's in one of the updates. Yeah, so that was a bit of a pain. Not a massive pain, but you know, then I had to obviously install the drivers, all that stuff, software. I've also got an art pad as well, which I bought myself, and actually I was a bit not sceptical. It's always something I wanted to get and try because I enjoy I used to enjoy my drawing and sketching, and actually it was a lot of fun. I spent a lot of yesterday in my free time while I was waiting for ending. Normally I might go on the computing game or go and do something else, actually sketching and drawing. I was cheating a little bit. I'm actually in the process of drawing the truck in a way, but what I'll do, instead of doing it in Hewitt's livery as such, I may just call it my channel name on it, is my idea, and I'm going to probably use that as, hopefully, if all goes well, the channel logo, or, you know, picture art. And I'll do a few others, such like, yeah, there's been a few trees down as well this morning, so I still have to be a bit wary as well. So yeah, so I enjoyed doing that. I'm not brilliant at it 100%, but so far it's looking promising, my idea. So what I've done, I used a picture of the truck as a template, so I could roughly sketch around it. So I've done the sketch around it. I'm in the process of, well, I've done most of the detailing, and I'm now in the process of painting it effectively. Then I'll put any logoing on it after, and what I should have done is start off doing the background, but oh well, it's what it is. I'm not copying the background of the truck's on. I've also, I don't know if I'm going to do the tank or not. I haven't added it in. I've done it as if I'm bobtailing, so I might add in maybe a flat trailer or something and do it towing my channel name or something. We'll have to see. I'll come up with something, nevertheless. It might mean me, because I've saved it at several stages, so I can always sort of like go back and say, actually, I don't like the colouring, let's redo it. Or I say I would have probably got it done yesterday, but I didn't focus a huge amount of my time on it, even though I did end up doing quite a bit of it. But also to take a break so I can think through how I'm going to do it in terms of what I want, what is the end product I want after it. Well, not product as such, but you know, end result. But so far, as I was about to say, it is looking, in my eyes, pretty smart. You know, it's not meant to be 100% lifelike. I would say there is some artistic flair going on, and it's not going to look at 110% like my truck. You know, because I don't know, I want it to be a bit unique and that, but vague. Well, it is going to be like the truck, but with a bit artistic flair. There's a bit of a windy one coming in as well today. So yes, I'm looking forward to getting that picture art done, because then I can add more channel art. I'm also, as I've said in the previous vlog, going to use that also to create thumbnails and such like as well, potentially. Traffic too, it's all school traffic. It's quite a tight road as well on this. I mean, it just ain't too bad on this bit. It is a bit tight around this bit though. Not tight as it's about to be, and you've seen it in the past anyway. This might be a bit of a mundane video. Because, you know, it's a route we've done before many a time so far, but this is pretty much my bread and butter. So we have to spice up some of the camera locations, I think. You know, look at some other stuff to film as well where possible, but the only issue is I have asked permission to film, the company's happy, but with the caveat I don't film on farms or customers. But I also take from that there is a possibility that if I ask the customer, likely obviously, could I film, and they say yes, there shouldn't be much issue. But I'm not going to film on any company sites or farms without their permission. I mean, the worst thing I'll probably ever do is I might drive up to one, but I will try and refrain from showing you the farm that I'm actually going to, or the layout of the farm, or whatever, as I've discussed in a prior video about security of that. I'm not saying farms are hyper secure places, but it's, you know, it's respecting that, you know, as vloggers, there is a certain risk from vlogging that our footage could be used for malicious purposes. But at the other hand of that, we can't allow that just to stop us from filming, because, you know, that means, you know, that thieves, even terrorists will win, you know. It means that, you know, certain people who are filming in good intention, you know, the freedoms are being a bit impaired because of the worst possibility. But never mind, that's going on a bit too deep. But you probably get the picture that my main concern is I do not want to do anything that a customer wants me to do,
left, A39,
or my company.
Chippen Hill.
And also, I think the other bit, the really biggie out there is a bit like
Turn left.
who was it? Got his name. Even though it's, I've got him, but I'm going to call him by the wrong name. I've got him in the head. He's one of the big YouTubers out there. He's had, you probably know what I'm talking about when I say, it's not late now, it's momentum. Yeah, got what I'm about to say, you know, by basically one of the big YouTubers got in trouble. It wasn't anything of his fault at all, and that's what I think is a little bit ridiculous, of catching I think it was a forklift driver or something like that, you know, one of the employees of a certain customer site doing the wrong process or doing something wrong, which obviously led to the company having to take action on probably that employee, but also what they've done, they got in touch with the driver's company and sort of like telling off the driver's company about it, going, and really I'm like, well, really, you know, well, fair enough, you've acted upon finding out one of your employees was doing the wrong thing, but, you know, I suppose it's liability, and that's the only logic that I can get out of it. It's probably companies not wanting bad PR, which is understandable, but bad PR won't happen if you do things right. Plus also, in some ways, they've created themselves that, and you probably know, if you know the story, you may know the company I'm relating the subject to. I'm not going to name them out of respect to, even though I'm half tempted, but because they are pretty wicked there. Yeah, but never mind. I don't really go to these sites in my current work anyway. As such, was I'm there. Not doing this anyway, doing the tanker work. Maybe if I would do a bit of curtain work for the yard. But yeah, but as at the end of the day, that's all related down to liability, I believe, and as I said, down to PR. It's basically a company that's overreacted. Because actually, as vloggers, could be very good PR for the industry. You know, that's, you know, there is positives within the industry, but I think some of the issue is because the industry is sort of set in old ways, but also adopted new ways at the same time. So they're sort of being pulled either side, and you know, and obviously with new technology and everything, you know, you see companies with all the trucks with all cameras all over them and all sorts. I'm not saying. I can see that the risks are of vloggers, you know, that but I'm pretty certain most drivers who vlog have a passion for the job, and that's really the reason why they vlog. They either have a passion for the job and or of maybe video editing, photography, etc. Presenting, you know, maybe a bit of ego. You can tell how heavy she is. Bear in mind this is a V8 580. I suppose it's good boy, even though I was actually in quite a low gear getting that, which is ideal. But never mind, you can hear the wind. It's really nasty up here. When I was empty earlier, you can really feel it. It's not so bad now, but still nothing.
Turn left.
It's enough to make you hear the vibration on the back of the boards and all that, the wind deflectors vibrating. So much so I was having to come up here between 30 and 40 miles per hour, and you could easily be doing 50 down this bit. I was basically reduced speed most of the morning coming in because of the weather. I made a bit of a rupsy mistake on the way in. I actually turned the wrong way. But no, I shouldn't have done. So I went the wrong way down the 303. I knew what I'd done as soon as I committed into the turn, but it was a bit late at that stage, so I had to sort of commit to my action and go and turn around at another junction. Which wasn't too bad, it only had about 10 minutes onto the time, but it's 10 minutes I probably could have got away without having to burn.
Follow B3135 for 3 miles.
But it's more of those moments that you think, I need to turn here, and then you suddenly realise, no I don't, I'm going the other way. I don't need to head east, I need to head west. Oh well, here's what it is. I suppose it is technically my version of a Monday morning today. So I've got a lick of it of licence for making a, you know, directional mistake. Within reason. Good truthful down there, got the source down now. It's interesting how the custody collected on the main road. That tree had fell down this morning, so I had to avoid that this morning. I think something may have hit it, and or Nestle's sorted it out, more than two, maybe both. It's no surprise how big they fly down that road though, it's even into where the 30s are. Put the defog on a wee bit. Yeah, so there's a lot of positive information going on. So I do apologise that last video I put up. Obviously if I release this, you hear my apology. I have written a comment down below the video as well, saying I am aware of it. But really it's just a chat video, and you get the grasp of what I filmed anyway from it, so it does the job. So worst case scenario, I'm reasonably happy with it in terms of what I've done on the video. Because I had to play around with putting some music in the background to start off with. I sussed out how to put proper text in without it being on the black background, and have it on the video itself, which, you know, sorts out a few of the issues I had before of having a black intro, which was alright, but I much preferred it like how I originally done it when I was on Final Cut. I'll come down to the arc quite heavy. I don't want to chop somebody up. so windy, we were actually walking. It's going to be a bit of a nightmare this crossroads, but it's better safe than sorry on this thing because people come flying down here. Let's get it going. Oh baby, you can do it, you can do it. Stopped into that one, there we go. So as you probably gather, it's a pretty nasty day today. Weather-wise, I don't mind it too much actually. I sort of enjoy it when it's like this in a way. But the other half of me does like the summer. Besides the heat. And I'm sort of contradictive at that point, you know, it was a very miserable day today, but you know, so it adds a bit of atmosphere to the day and a bit of a mood to the day. So I'm getting used to doing editing on the DaVinci Resolve, I think it is. It's actually a very good editor. I would recommend that to anybody who is interested in maybe making some videos, because it's free to start off with. So I'm not even selling it. I'm not sponsored by them, by the way, or anything like that. But if you're interested in a video editor, especially a free one, yes, you can get the paid version, which is like around the region of £300, give or take. There may be a sale on or not, you know, I have no idea if they discount it or not at any stage of the year, so, which does unlock a few things, but for what I use it for at the moment, I'm more than happy with the free one. I'm not saying I'm not going to buy the full version, but a lot of the features that the full version come with I don't really use, or wouldn't be using. But there is a few nice things that do come with the full version. But I'm not going to go into details, it's all very techy, but it basically may speed up the rendering process.
After a quarter of a mile, turn right, A37.
I must say, the last video, even though the framing of it is completely wrong, it did render really quick though. Systems are definitely quicker than my Mac at rendering as well, I
Turn
find.
right.
Yeah, I'm probably definitely going to stop off at that services. I fancy another coffee already. I've got to bid that, never mind. Where's it then off to? That van was just deciding where to go, I think, because he's now turned down this way, which, you know, oh well, it's what it is, but I think he's a bit confused by the looks of it.
For 3.5 miles.
Yeah, so, you know, my last video wasn't the most positive thing about the industry, but I'm going to do a video this week of the positive things, you know, why to become a truck driver, you know, reasons why, you know, what are the pros of the industry, you know. Like I said, it's always easier to find negatives than it is to find positives most of the time. Because things could always be a bit better. I'm not saying that there isn't major issues within the industry, but, you know, it could still be far worse. But as I said, I'll discuss that in probably my next video. I may discuss that. I mean, I could have probably done that on this video, but I'd rather start off at the beginning debating it. Because this wind's quite nasty. When we're loaded there, it started to drag us slightly sideways then. So my mirror's doing love taps to the hedge. This is very common though in country driving, but you know, that's why when you're loaded, you should always still take it easy in this sort of weather. So I'm doing about 40 at the moment. Just lob it down to lower gear so we've got enough exhaust brake or braking power to be able to smoothly slow down without having to rely on the main brakes. Very nice around here. It's all very nice countryside in the west, including in the southwest, should I say. Many areas I would say is absolutely awful. Solid. I'm going up north to go and see some family. So the video for this week, I'll probably still edit at least one to put up. The nice thing about where I live at the moment, I've got Virgin Fibre. I've got like the 300 in, yeah, basically the most powerful package you can have with internet. Some upload speed's pretty decent. It's the same upload speed as my download speed up north, which is around about tray 5 meg gigs, whatever it is. It's not their fault. Come on, get to kill or something. Here we go. That's what happens when you accidentally slept up by mistake. Which happens every so often. Or I need to be in the high gear, but I don't forget to change it up. Well, it happens every so often. I'm getting better. Because it still shows now and again that I hadn't driven the manual for quite a long time until I started this job. But I think I've got most of the kinks out. So every so often I might have a little hiccup like that, or it's a gearbox it having its complacency, as I call it. Sometimes it finds what I call ghost gear. So it feels like you've gone into gear and you go to say to pull off, or you just put a bit more power on and nothing really happens. You like, and it's as if you've effectively set it to the neutral gear.
After a quarter of a mile, cross the roundabout, second exit, A361, A37, A371, Whitstone Road. Cross the roundabout, second exit.
A lot of people indicate left when they have not even passed the junction to our right, and they're actually going right off the roundabout in terms of going past our exit to obviously the next exit. That's why I should get on the inside of it. Find some gear. It's not doing that. Yeah, so it's funny what some people do on roundabouts, especially around heavy goods vehicles. You know, and some people try and overtake heavy goods vehicles using the roundabouts. I know the frustration. Truck drivers do drive cars as well. I sit behind trucks when I'm in my car. Yes, I do want to get past them, but I don't go, or I try not to go into suicidal mode to get past them. Something happened. No, not on our bit. That's just the tank gets pulled over the lane line. First I thought there might have been something happened. Surprise me in this, have a look. I said, yeah, it's something I probably talk about over and over again. Is how people. Some people. I'm not talking about every car driver or motorist does it, but some of the reckless decisions and some motorists, I'm not just saying car drivers, other vehicles, van drivers, motorbikers can do. You know, they can sometimes choose the complete wrong time to overtake, or, you know, completely misread something. So, who was it? It's that YouTuber the other week. He was very shaken up by it, quite naturally. Actually, I did comment on his thing, so I'll say to him, look, you know, take care, you know, it wasn't your fault, because it wasn't his fault what happened. Basically, as a car, as he stated, it happens to us truckers every single week, every single day. We don't really think about it. You have a car that's sat behind you, is naturally poking out. Everybody does it, will poke out to try and see, or, you know, get as much vision as they can to see if they can overtake. So basically, I'm telling what he's briefed out. I've not witnessed what has happened. You know, there could be some error in what I said, say, you know, so I'd mean no disrespect or and that. But you may have seen this video. Basically, a car went to overtake, and there was an oncoming car, and you can probably run the maths, you know, and it wasn't oncoming car in the very far distance, it was oncoming car in the very near distance. You know, basically without enough of an overtake time within safety measures. You know, you got to realise when you overtake a truck, if you see an oncoming car, you got to bear in mind on the country road like this, that car could be doing 60 towards you. You are doing, you know, if you sat behind a truck on an average day, you're doing between 40 to 50 miles an hour on average down the country, open country road like this. Now, I'm slightly slower today because of weather reasons, but, you know, when you're running the maths, if you're in your car, you go for overtake, the chances are you're going to be over 60, because a lot of people in overtake, it's quite a natural thing, will accelerate quite heavily, you know, to get past. So now you're overtaking, doing at least 60, with a car coming at you doing 60. If none of the vehicles take emergency action, that's a combined hitting speed of 120 miles an hour, let alone all the other factors in mathematics that fall into that. But luckily, and this is a very fortunate thing, there was no one with any serious injuries at all, nothing, you know, to really speak of what was said. And luckily, you know, because both of them were, like, let's say female drivers are bad drivers, no, but both of them were lady drivers. One of them, I think, had just done the school run, so very fortunately the kids were either at school or home, whatever happened, whatever time it was in the day, you know. I was very fortunate the kids weren't in the car. And I openly, I did comment on my comment saying, you know, they were extremely lucky that no one was killed. No matter how well modern day cars are designed, yes, they're really well designed, and they are designed to take head-on collisions, but to a degree. I know, yes, the chances are both did eventually react and they did slow down. So I don't know all the ins and outs, what happened, who reacted, and, you know, all I know, looking at the scene and what was interpreted across, that almost 100% chances are that it was not the truck driver's fault at all. The thing is, he was beating himself up, in some ways quite naturally, of thinking he could have done something else. He should have slowed down a bit more, or, you know, should he have sped up, or, you know, he apparently said he sounded his horn all the way through, you know, to try and warn both parties as best as possible, and yeah. But as I said, I think my main concern from that, even though no one was killed, it will have a psychological impact on the truck driver. No matter if he's a YouTuber or average Joe blog, so he's driving, you know. And that sort of situation for a truck driver is extremely stressful. Because quite naturally you are assessing yourself, going, could you have done something else? Was it my fault? Was it, you know, even though it's clearly not, you know, if a car commits to overtake, it's their decision, really. You know, only time that it could remotely be the vehicle you're overtaking's fault was if they start to race you, as I would call it, you know, start speeding up, you know, to almost like cancel your overtake off. Which, doing that, no matter how much you may not like the vehicle overtaking you, is extremely dangerous to do. I mean, it's reckless. which then you're also relying on the overtaking car having a bit of noggin going, you know, to weigh out between, do I commit further, do I accelerate harder to get past, or do I slow down to get back in if I can? That's all the very few times, and I'm not saying it's the only thing that could ever be, you know, the non-overtaking vehicle's fault, but that's one of the primarily sort of roughly few ways that it could, you know, in that type of sort of situation it could be, you know, moved on, but you know, it's proving it. I'm not relating that to what happened to the vlogger with his truck. He seems like a very good driver, and I don't see him doing it. Plus, also, I think he is a driver trainer as well, so the chances are, you know, he probably wasn't. And as he was stating, he was slowing down to try and enable the overtake car to be able to whiz across, or to slow down and get behind him. But as he quite rightly said, you know, if I slow down a lot, or there could be a car right up behind him. But, you know, and this is where, you know, the decision points come in, going, you know, you're neither right or in the wrong on this. It's between a rock and a hard place. And you've got to weigh out between, you know, at the end of the day, it's the overtaking car's fault, so it's not the fault if there's a car behind you, but yes, it is their fault if they're right behind you, to the point that they cannot stop within time in an emergency. They have not given themselves enough breathing space to take emergency action. And yes, I could see where it's coming from, that if there was another car behind them, they've seen that car going to overtake, and a lot of people do go in auto mode and will, no matter what, follow the car that's suddenly started to overtake without fully looking, is it clear? But nevertheless, I deduct off that, you know, it's really good that no one's hurt. That's a critical thing. No one's hurt at the end of the day. Yes, there's a couple of smashed up cars, a little bit of damage on the trailer. That can be repaired. Yes, it costs money. Luckily, it probably won't be the company's money, because, you know, but at the same time, it's going to cost probably the lass who's overtaking quite a lot of money. And probably no claims, gone. But that's speculation. You know, so I weren't there, I don't know who's precisely to blame, you know, but it's just my point of view, you know, in that situation, it probably would be the overtaking car. And, you know, it's not the only vlogger of late who's been involved in some form of accident. He had, I think it's Kev T the other week in the truck stop. He was parked up for the night. He got woke up early in the morning with a truck hitting his cab, or striking his cab. You know. But yes, that isn't his fault. Picked up or something, who knows? Oh yeah, the tree there filled in, but it must have cleared it up. Yeah, so there's been a lot of stuff on the vlogging side recently, you know, the accident front. Touch wood, hopefully nothing happens, but you know, you can't predict it. As long as I do everything by the book, you know, do it safely, you know, what can you do? And it's one of the risks of the job that, you know, you will, you know, it's very likely you will witness accidents or see the aftermaths of accidents. know, I've seen a fair few, you know, some really nasty ones as well. And luckily the really nasty ones, you know, already had responders on site, you know, etc. And this is where one of the things that they should have brought in, you know, instead of CPC, is maybe make it mandatory for heavy goods drivers to do a first aiders course. And maybe put in the exception that's done every 5 years or every 2 years. Really, it should be done every year, but you've got to have some exception. But I think with CPC on it, I would be a big supporter of that sort of thing. But yes, it probably, I think you can do part of your CPC probably. And yes, you can probably argue, or you can make it mandatory as part of your CPC that you must do it. But you know, on the other hand, it's the time off work, etc., and all that cost of probably doing the course, unless your company covers it. But you know, the idea of if for every heavy goods driver, or certainly every English heavy goods driver in the UK was, you know, a first aider. That's what they argue, a first aid, not a paramedic or anything like that, not a hyper medical, but they'll be able to help assist on the scene. Because there's always a heavy goods vehicle around the area, and as long as it's on the main road, that no one, and you know, but yeah, it's a bit awkward, and you know, we're not really medics or anything like that, but you know, I know I'm not the only person to semi sort of run over that discussion. And yes, in some companies they do train up some of the drivers as first aiders and all that, with the eye on that, you know, they could be involved in accident or witness an accident and they could assist. I mean, it doesn't stop me from assisting, just there'll be the legal side, obviously, you know, because that's always in the background going, you know, these days, all liability and all that. Even if I'd done it to the book, to numbers, if I'm not a first aider and I do CPR, technically, the patient could sue me if they survive, obviously. It isn't unknown. And it brings in all the liability questions. You know, even if you go into it with the best intentions, you know you can. I'm not saying don't do it, but at the same time, I take no responsibility if you step in and help out the situation. So I don't want anybody going, "Oh, Trucker Steve-O," or "Trucking Steve-O told me to do it." No. But I mean, I would still, you know, get out and assist. But you know, you've got to look at these days today how stupid some of the things are getting. You know, I understand that it is to try and make sure people are trained and, you know, do everything right. Yes, I get the idea on that front, but at the same time, it could also, because it will hold people back from actually who could have helped, who could have been there first. You know, because they were gone, "Oh no, I'm not doing it because I'm not going to take the hit if I get sued." Or go to jail, you know, potentially. Obviously, if you go into a situation, you do something you absolutely have no clue on, and you know you have no clue, and you're making it up, and you know actually you have no idea if you're going to save them through doing it, and you know there's more likely to go cause harm, then yeah, fair enough, you are very liable then. But if you know you can go into a situation and help, at the very least, to be able to call the emergency services in a major accident, you know, and maybe give the numbers of people involved in it, or the numbers of vehicles involved, you know, etc. First of all, it might be more of ours coming up there in the distance. So there's been a vast chat over a certain subject, fairly related to vlogging and all that, but as also I would say, you know, we all have bad weeks as well. And as I was getting at it, you know, there is a very high proportion, being as professional drivers, that you will witness or be involved in a situation. I've been involved in, it was a mine accident. I think I discussed it before when I was with Westons a few years ago. It was a few years ago that was. I think it was. Yeah, it was a few years ago. Luckily it wasn't my fault, but you know, it's very minor. The damage was really all on the car, nothing on the trailer of the truck. The guy initially tried to make out it was my fault, but as soon as I highlighted, the truck was fitted with cameras, and that truck I was driving that day actually had all-round cameras on the cab. Because he was absolutely initially ignoring what I was trying to tell him, saying, look, you know, I couldn't see you at all, you know, you were in my blind spot, it's all clear when I looked to move out. And, you know, what ended up, I worked out what happened, he actually sped onto the roundabout from the junction before, even though he must have seen me there. He must have, you know, should have gone through his head going, actually I better not pull out the roundabout, there's a truck there, you know, not a good idea. But no, he decided to try and undertake a truck on the roundabout that was pulling into the outer lane on the roundabout with full indicators on. So it all went down, it wasn't my fault at all, you know, I'd done everything right. He was a bit shaken naturally because he had curbed his alloys on the curb to pull in, because the trailer was imminently coming in on him, and slightly tapped his right mirror, what I gathered. He was very lucky at that time, you know, he was lucky that, you know, I heard him honk. That's the only way I knew he was there, but he honked his horn. I was like, what the hell? So I just stopped. So I stopped and, no, I'm stopping. There's something beeping there. You know, better go and have a look. I was a bit shaken to a certain degree. You know, I know what the possibilities could have been. You know, I could have crushed him in. If I didn't hear him honk, I wouldn't have known until it was too late. But, you know, if you're involved in any form of accident, if it's your fault or not, always follow your company's procedures. If you're not sure, phone up your dispatcher, have a word with them, but make sure you've assessed the situation first, make sure if there's any casualties, you've done the right thing, call emergency services, give them the location you're at. Don't worry about giving your location. If you're not sure, don't waste half an hour looking at a map to suss out what road you're on, or, you know, I know yes, some of you argue, well, that's the important thing, but the chances are if you've got signal on your mobile phone, they will be able to locate you. If you don't just give them a vague idea where you are, or I'm near such and such city, town, village, on, or if you know the road name better, on the AZZY, you know. And if you really do know where you are, happy days, you know. But these days they can track you on the system. You can't just state to them, look, I know I'm roughly around here, have you got me on the system? Give them as much detail as you can, but don't waste a huge amount of time to get... Fair enough, have a quick glimpse and you sat nav if you're able to, you know. as long as it takes you a few seconds to do so. If you're not able to do that, the best thing is to shout out for help, as they always say. If you've got signal, get on the blower, onto 999, whatever you may need, if it's police, ambulance, emergency services, you know, just if you're not sure if you need multiple units out there, just WhatsApp and say, you know, might be a trapped person, or, you know, etc. You know, there's a fire, you know.
After 600 feet,
that highlights they need to get probably the fire brigade out, and probably an ambulance. But, you know, a lot of it is dependent on the situation, is to weigh out how severe it is.
Turn left.
But, you know, a bit like what I was involved with, didn't involve the police at all. It was all done through the company procedure.
Turn left, then
I took tons of photos. I gave the car driver our company information, got his information, etc., etc. So yeah, so hopefully you've enjoyed this video. I know it's a bit of a mundane video talking about bits and bobs and, you know, accident procedures. I'd say going on the accident procedure side, if you are a driver, follow your company's rules. You know, if you're not sure, it doesn't harm to get a refresh to learn what your company's regulations or procedure is, if they have one. If they don't, it's good as a driver to consider, if you are involved in the situation, what am I going to do? You can have a basic rule of thumb. Assess is number one. Assess yourself, assess what happened, assess everything. Now, is there any casualties? That's pretty much number one. If you're a casualty, you're able to respond, yeah, deal with it, you know, as best as possible. I can't really describe, I could probably do a video on maybe what I would do. I'm not going to do it now, but the key thing is just to be able to assess and go over key responsibilities. Basically, safety first. But I'll discuss that in my next video maybe as well, or in another video. I'll talk more about maybe what to do in accidents, what not to do as well. But don't hold it as gospel. You know, I would highlight anything I say isn't there as gospel. Follow your company procedure. If your company procedure will override everything, and also by the law as well. If I make a mistake and tell you to do something, I hold no responsibility. Take it with a pinch of salt. If you're not sure if I've said something right, then you go, actually, I'm not too sure on that. Double check it. I'm pretty certain you can find something online or something. There's probably also recommendations online what to do, you know. And the precise procedure varies so much. You know, you go to one company, they say you do this first. You go to another one, they say do that first. You know, vice versa. You know, who knows? But nevertheless, comment down below what you think about anything I've discussed. Please like if you like. If you like what you see, please subscribe if you want to. And thank you very much for watching. Over and out.